Good morning, my YouTube family and friends. I pray that everyone is having a blessed day today. I pray that you are enjoying this beautiful Friday. It's snowing here again, but it's okay. I think it's 26 degrees is what my car says, but I'm not for sure how much snow we're supposed to get, but I think it's going to come down a little heavier tonight is what they're saying, but it doesn't matter because I'll be good and snugged into the house, so it won't even matter. I don't have any plans to go anywhere this evening, so that'll be fine with me to look out the window. But anyway, just wanted to hop on here real quick and bring some words of encouragement. As always, if you have not said it already, let's say it together. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. It's indeed a blessing to be alive. And so I wanted to hop on here and just talk about secrets. I remember growing up. As I was growing up, somebody would whisper something in your ear and tell you something about somebody else, and they would say they were telling you something that probably either they found out on their own or somebody told them. But either way, the question was, should they have been telling me or you, or me? So I think back on that, a lot of times, and secrets can get us in trouble because a lot of times it's defamation of character. A lot of times, because people don't, most of the time that person doesn't know, that quote unquote secret is being told about them, or maybe they shared something with somebody in a total trust. They were trusting that person to not tell anybody, and it's like that person was telling other people. And I'll give you an example. There was I think I shared this before, but I'll share it again. There was a job when I worked at Blue Cross, and so she approached me and she said, she would come over there. She was sort of nosy, like this was a person, and I don't mean that I'm not trying to talk bad about her, but I'm telling the truth. She was. And so it seemed like she was real quiet, and real reserved, but she gathered information about other people. So I don't know if it just made her feel good to know, things about other people. They gave her sheer joy, okay, I know this about her, or I know this about him. And then she would pick and choose, like, I guess when she would share it with somebody. But I guess it would just accumulate over time. And she just knew something about everybody in that office. And she knew something about everybody in the company. And she had been there a while, of course, but I'm just like, wow, that's just what do we know about her? What do I know about you? Somebody, so much about other people, but, and usually those people, they're not going to tell you anything about themselves. They want to tell you about other people's, things that other people have shared with them. But anyway, going back to her, she was older than me at the time, old enough to be my mom. And so she would just, don't tell nobody. She would, I've had people say that quite a few times to me. I'm telling you, but don't say nothing else about it. I've even had my relatives tell me that, and I'm just like, okay, I won't say anything. But now that I think about that a little bit more, it's like, why would you even add that on? That kind of sort of gives me a hint about your character, because why are you even sharing it with me and then telling me don't tell nobody else? That's sort of gossiping, sort of. It's in that arena. But anyway, going back, I wanted to share that, but then I want to share this as well. There are secrets within our families. I was talking about this yesterday with somebody, and I was letting the person know. I said, there's so many secrets that have been taken to the grave. There's people in the graveyard now that have been buried for years and years, and some of them, pretty recent, but they've taken secrets to the grave. things that they should have, shared, or should have spoken up about, or should have maybe confronted somebody about, or maybe they was the one that did the wrong, but they never it was a secret. They knew about it, but they never spoke up about it, and they took it to the grave. And I've shared this before too as well, but there was a person that I knew, or I know, and she found out later on in her life that somebody, that was supposed to be one of her parents was not her parent. That was a step parent. So, she was very distraught about it, and very, just upset about it, which, you can't blame someone, because, that's just an emotion. That's like, are you kidding me? Now I got to reevaluate everything I've ever known. And that's why, I've been, since my children only living parent, I've been sharing things with them, your mom wasn't a saint back in the day. I did my wrong, and I'm still doing things that I'm not supposed to do. But I'm in the care of God. I've asked God, I've asked God to forgive me, and I'm trusting God. I have a relationship with Jesus, and, I know He's going to take care of me, and I'm in the family of Christ now, and I wasn't then. But, I share things with them, and some of those things are not so pleasant. Some of them are somewhat embarrassing, but there's something, it's something about when you're telling the truth, when you're being real with yourself. It's like it's no filter there. You don't have to hide behind what people think you should say or do, because you're living your truth, and that's what's wrong now with the world. So many people want to hide behind lies. I've seen movies where, somebody will just, one lie, a lie goes from one generation to the next. Be honest and tell the truth, about something that happened. A lot of times people, they say, well, you may ask them something about something that maybe happened in the family, and they say, well, I don't even know, I'm not for sure, or nobody wants to find out. Nobody wants to know the truth, because a lot of times the truth is uncomfortable. They don't want to know, because they don't, and a lot of times they do know, but they don't want to share it with anybody else. So that's what we have to be mindful of. It's most of all being honest with most of all with God, then be honest with ourselves. Because when we are honest with ourselves, again, that's gonna help you in so many areas of your life. Believe me, trust me on this. I've tried it, and it's helping me so much. And I tell so many people, that I come across, I say, I'm living in truth now. I'm walking in honesty now. I don't have time to be, making up stuff and being fake and phony anymore. I did that years ago. I'm tired of doing that. I want to be honest and truthful about, what's going on in my life. So, and again, it not only frees you, it's the prayer is that it frees somebody else. And, whenever you, again, I've shared this too, whenever you get a chance to share something great that God, which he's done so many great things for us, but when you get a chance to share it with somebody. Tell somebody. Every time that God gives me the opportunity, I do my best to, I'll bring up so much He's done for me. But I'll be like, hey, God helped me with this, or God helped me with that. Share your truth, because somebody needs to hear it. But when we keep secrets, and I've talked to relatives, and they'll say, I've actually haven't ever really been in the trying to do the family tree and all that stuff, but I like more so hands-on. So I like to ask people who have been in the family, what did Aunt so-and-so used, what was she like back in the day? Or even if they, they're just making it up from their perspective, it's still helpful to know. It's still helpful to know, because you know, it kind of gives you an idea of what type of person it was. And so I asked my mom, this was pretty recent, not real recent, but sort of recent. I asked my mom about my granddad because I didn't really know him. He passed away in the 90s, but, you know, me and her sort of, when I was the only child, me and her stayed with him for a little while in Georgia. And I was little then, so I didn't really get to like form a relationship with him or anything because I was little. But I remember when he got real sick before he passed away, and I do remember that because I remember the job I was working on and everything. So, and I was in my 20s, I believe, then. But anyway, when he passed away, but I you know, again, I asked her, I said, you know, what was granddad like? You know, what was he like? Because, you know, we get so accustomed to saying the name we give them, granddaddy, grandmama, aunt, uncle, whatever. But do we really know that person and know anything about them? And, you know, my mom was telling me a few things about him, and there was something I had asked her about before we left Tennessee. And because I was trying to find out something, and you know, as in correspondence to the family line, and she answered it for me. And to this day, I can't remember what I asked her, but it was something that had to do with, it was some trait that I saw consistently in the family. And she answered it. She said, yeah, you know, so I got the impression it came from him. He was the dad to, you know, all his children. Then it went down to the grandchildren, and then the great-grandchildren, and so on like that. But anyway, sorry if I'm all over the place, but I'm just delivering as the Holy Spirit is giving it to me. But again, you know, we have to be mindful of stuff that we're holding in, you know, secrets. If you know something that's going to help somebody in the family, or if you know something that's happened that wasn't right, that wasn't of God, you know, speak up. Say something about it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so what if you get bashed by the family? So what if you get, ousted by the family? Who cares? I'd rather be ousted by man than God. So, you know, tell the truth. Stand up, and if you've witnessed something, I don't care if it was back in when you was little. You know, say something. Go to that person. I had to do that. And I've shared this before. My biological father, my late husband, I told him, I said, you know, I can't even sleep. I can't sleep at night. You know, it's bothering me. And it was like it was not torturing me, but it was just bothering my soul. I did not know my past. I did not know, you know, what happened between him and my mom. And I mentioned to him, and he said, yeah. He said, I think you should go, you should talk to him. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I called him up. This was during COVID. I called him up, and we talked for hours. He cried, and I listened. He cried some more. I listened. And, you know, I told him, I said, you know, I'm not trying to make you cry, or I didn't want you to cry, but, you know, but a lot of times, you know, that's what happens when people are confronted, you know, on different things that maybe they wanted to forget, or, you know, just, okay, I just want to, that happened then, I don't want to talk about it. And nobody ever pried, you know, or, you know, nobody ever, you know, came to them about it, you know. And then when somebody actually do, you know, it's like, whoa, you know, it hits pretty hard, because you tried to pack that away and hide that for so many years. And truth is, you cannot hide anything. God knows everything about all of us. And, you know, you could try to forget it and throw it out your mind, but it won't work. It's still, the truth is, it still exists, because it happened. So again, when we were talking, you know, I said, take me back. That's what I told him. I said, take me back all the way, you know, when you and my mom were dating. Take me back. I want to know. And he did. And, you know, I had already sort of knew, you know, I didn't go to her because I've been up under her all my life. I wanted to hear from him. He's the one that was not present in my life. He's the one that was never there for me. So I wanted to hear what he had to say. And, you know, I had told my late husband, I said, I told him what he told me, and he was just like, I could just tell. I was like, whoa, that was a lot of information. But I wanted to know it. And, but he told me, he said, well, that's good that you know. I said, yeah, it is. I said, but this is what I'm talking about. You know, I could have hate in my heart for him. I could have, you know, which I had for a long time. I don't believe I had hate, but I had resentment, because I was trying to figure out, you know, what happened. You know, why didn't you guys make it? Why didn't you work out? You know, why didn't you try to reconcile? Why didn't you try to make this thing work? You had a child together. Well, he had other children he had too. So why would he try to work it out with my mom? Because he had other kids all over the place. But what I'm saying, you know, that's either here nor there, but it's just the fact that, you know, I didn't know that the truth for a long time about that. And he could have taken that, ended up taking that to his grave. I could have taken that to my grave, just being mad and angry with him, and just, you know, so upset with him. And then that could have, by him not being in my life, that could have caused me not to get married. But God said, no, it won't be so. You're going to have what was never given to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Jesus said, I'm gonna make sure you have a family. You're gonna have a husband. You're gonna have children. You're gonna have a husband that loves and cares for you. And I'm eternally grateful for that. I really truly am, because again, I was such a mess, because again, that could have been taken to my grave. He could have took it to his grave, you know. But I said, you know, I want to know. It's not a secret. You know, let's do away with the secrets. Let's talk about the hard stuff. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Nobody wants to talk about, you know, that hard stuff. Nobody wants to talk about it. And that's what's wrong now. And you're passing it down from generation to generation. You know, your parents never told you about, I'm just giving an example. They never told you that they were molested. So then you somehow, I pray it didn't happen, but you somehow were molested. And it just keeps going. It keeps trickling down from generation to generation, because nobody's addressing it. Nobody's talking about stuff. Everybody keeps stuff to themselves. They go get medicated. You know, they go through depression. They go through all this stuff. But nobody ever addresses what is going on. And so again, you know, some stuff you need to talk about. You know, it's hard. It's not fun. You got to talk about it though. You got to talk about it, because that's gonna free you. It's gonna free other people that are attached to you. You know, and like I said, quit trying to hide stuff from people in your life. Tell people the truth. If you got, you know, I pray it didn't happen, but if you got molested when you were little, talk about it. Tell somebody about it. Tell the truth. Say, hey, this is what happened. Tell the truth about stuff. Quit trying to, you know, make it seem like, you know, everything was hunky-dory. Tell the truth about stuff, and it's going to free. It's going to free people. It's going to free it. It's going to free you. It's going to free who you're telling. Tell the truth about stuff, and quit trying to hide stuff. But I'm so thankful. I really am. Things that happened to me, I shared that I was molested when I was little, and by some relatives, and I'm thankful that, you know, it didn't destroy me. I really am. I'm so thankful. It should have, but it didn't. You know, I'm so thankful. So I pray that this word, this word encourages somebody. I pray that you always hear Jesus speaking through me and not just me. Pray you have a beautiful, most amazing day in Jesus Christ. I pray that the Lord continues to encamp his holy angels around you and your family always. I pray every prayer you have ever prayed, Jesus will answer it according to his perfect, holy, and divine will for your life. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Go out and do something beautiful for Jesus. And Always give him the honor, glory, and the praise forever. I love you, but remember, Jesus loves you so much more. Remember, no more secrets.